And so it has come to this. You knew we would get here eventually. Who knows? I may be getting ahead of myself and I may die to this guy all day. And then we never even get to the tiers list, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I'm just about ready to get crack-a-lackin' here. Crack-a-lackin', Dex build, smackin' cheeks. It's a good day to end a game. You may think you're ready, but you wouldn't know ready if Ready Steady came up and bit you on the forearm. You know what I'm saying out there, folks? The day has come. The time is nigh. 333, September 30th. Why? What do you mean? Why not say hi? What are you supposed to say when you walk in? Get down with the get down? Okay, guys, who's ready to go? I think I'm gonna get this going. Listen. I kinda wanna have sufficient time to beat this guy. I'm a little worried about it. Not really, but just, you know, a little bit. Not really. A little bit, though. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. Here comes the emotional part. Oh, not yet, not yet, not yet. Watch. You ready? This part right here. Then it turns into near replicant. Just about ready to go. Dick, 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 dick. Okay. Listen, guys, I think we're going in. I think we're going in. In fact, I know we are. I'm coming in. Light speed. Sherpa. Million miles an hour. Just circled the sun. Came back. And I'm here to get this done. Okay. I'm hitting the button. How's everybody doing? Happy... What is it, Saturday? Happy Saturday. Let's try to get through this. And then heal from the wounds. And then talk about it. Is the plan, okay? I don't think we're gonna be stuck here that long, but honestly, I feel like I've said that about every single boss in this game. I feel like every boss in this game, I came in and said, I don't think that's gonna be that bad. And sometimes it was true. And I did good. Other times, I was there for days. Ah. Look at that. I can do it in a dodge now. I don't think it's gonna be useful for this guy. I think we're gonna try to beat him the old-fashioned way. Let's warm up. At least there's nothing else in the way. Oh my god, is that the real experience? What's up, bro? Okay, let me try to remember how to play. I got him!
I never found the Grand Covenant like those puppets because of Carlos' memory within you.
You see what I'm going for? Pay attention.
I know you had gone astray.
Pay attention.
Troublesome little puppet.
That one sucks.
Your freedom is not for you.
How do you like those parries, my friend?
To resort to the lash, but there's no other way.
Come on, did you see those parries, bro? Not bad. This is actually a really cool boss. Really cool cutscene. I like this whole thing. Run him over with the car, Nico! I guess that was more like little Jacob, but you get the idea. I parried like a lot of that. Okay.
How dare you? You're just a puppet. Nothing.
Oh, maybe a dodge on that one. That one's just impossible, so don't worry about that one. How did I do? halfway first try? Come on. I don't think I'm going to need the whole hour. That was pretty damn good. Come on, man. Halfway through first try. You gotta parry him. You gotta parry him. You can't be dodging. It's too much stamina drain to dodge on this guy. He's too fast.
Come to me, my son.
Same with this. Same with this whole thing. Look how easy that is.
I never bound you to the Grand Covenant like the other puppets because of Carlo's memory within
Come on, let me have some victory surplus.
I know you have gone astray. Trouble the puppet. Freedom is not for you, but Carlo.
What an asshole.
Resort to the last.
I got greedy because of the stagger. I got greedy because of the stagger. Oh, 3 phase. If it's got 3 phases, I'm gonna be honest with you. If it's got 3 phases, I don't think we're gonna do the tier list today.
Come to me.
We'll see.
My son.
This is definitely the right way to do this, though. I mean, that was working out.
Never bound to the Grand Covenant like the other puppets because of Carlo's memories within you. I knew you had gone astray. You troublesome puppet.
Ah. I am missing him now, man.
Your freedom is not for you, but Carlo.
Damn.
No father wants to resort to the last, but there's no other way.
Not bad. Not bad. Could be better. Could be better.
How dare you? You're just a puppet. Nothing more.
Gotta remember that one. Ah! I thought I panicked. I panicked. I didn't know how long he was gonna hold it up in the air. I panicked. Why are you coughing, KW? Do you have a cold? That was like super, like totally awesome, impressive. I know. Now we just gotta keep it going.
Human. Come to me, my son.
Is the timings like...
Never bound to the Grand Covenant like the other puppets because of Carlo's memories within you.
Sometimes they look very similar to other moves. It's very tricky.
I knew.
Damn, like, he's got fast spins, slow spins.
Freedom is not for you. Carlo.
Oh my god. It's so tempting to hit the dodge, but I don't want to do it.
No father wants to resort to the lash, but there's no no other way. Can't find those memories. I'll make you a real human myself. After I lost you.
Greedy, but I need it!
How dare you? You're just a puppet. Nothing more.
That, I don't, dude, some of those, man. Not sure, man. Look how much damage I can put in one thing. Oh. Dude, to be honest, that was my bit. Look at his health. I almost just killed him right there. That wasn't even a good run. That was a quarter away from death. So that almost beat him right there. I'm not even sure how I put that much damage in that fat. Oh, because you got to get there with full blue bars. I love this game, man.
You can become a real human.
This is good. This is good, man.
Come to me, my son.
God! I can't figure some of them out.
Grand Covenant like the other puppets because of Carlo's memory.
Like, that's like the only one I can reliably get. But I'm hitting it early every single time.
I knew you had helped stray. Troublesome puppet. Your freedom is enough for you. But for Carlo.
No!
Father wants to absorb the flash, but there's no other way.
Oh my god, I still got it somehow. Okay. Not bad. It's about the same as last time.
How dare you? You're just a puppet. Nothing more.
I try it every single time I try it. Oh. Damn. Almost. That's a grab. I don't want that. Missed the last one. That's like, dude, that's one of the hardest ones. Okay. He's, what, now that I've seen it a few times. If you do, oh, the Fury attack. I'm trying each time. Yeah, I've been trying each time. I'm just like digging my feet in. I'm just gonna learn some of the parries. And it's working. It's just gonna take a little bit of practice. The one where he darts at you is very hard to time.
Come to me, my son.
Damn!
Never bound to the Grand Covenant like the other puppets because of Carlo's memories within you. know you've gone astray.
That was weird.
Your freedom is not free.
Damn it! I'm taking care of business today, you guys, for real.
But there's no other way.
Take care of business.
How dare you? You're just a puppet. Nothing more.
That one hurts. I can't time it! I can't time that either. So some of the moves I don't know as good as the other moves. The Flurry Rush, I'm just gonna try to like, or the Fury Rush, I'm just gonna like, I gotta try to like hit the button a second before I think I need to hit the button. That's how I have to do it.
You can become a real human.
I don't want to be a real human like you.
My son.
Oh my god. There we go.
I never found you to be like the other puppets because of Carlo's memories within you. I know you have gone astray. You troublesome little puppet.
Oh my god, bro.
Your freedom is not for you,
Thank god.
but for Carlo.
I don't know if I have the perfect grindstone. I don't remember what that is. Remind me. Woo!
No father wants to resort to flash.
See, if you gotta heal, good luck.
No other way. If you can't find those memories,
Jesus Christ.
how dare you? You're just a puppet. Nothing more.
I did it! I did it, but I'm gonna die. I don't know how to time that. I don't know these ones. I don't know how to do these ones. But I did the big one. I'm trying to activate Wumbo. Perfect guard grindstone, you perfect guards with blocks. Wait. No, I don't think I have that, dude. No, I've only got 2 grindstones. I've got electric
Become a
and
real
fire.
human.
I didn't even know that exists.
Come to me, my son.
I kind of don't even know if I want it.
I never found you to the grand like the other puppets because of Carlo's memory.
Gee, dude, the
within you.
delays are so nasty. It's filthy, bro.
I know you have gone astray. You troublesome little puppet.
Filthy delays.
Your freedom.
No, this is a bad one. I'm hitting it early every time. There.
No father was too good for lash, but
Every time.
no other way.
What a bitch!
If you can't find those memories, I'll make you into a real human myself.
Oh! Why do I feel like I haven't seen that yet today? How come he hasn't been busting out the spear? What's that about? It's the only time he's taken that out.
How dare you? You're just a puppet. Nothing more.
Yeah. That was way too sloppy of a first run to think we were gonna get far in the second one. Okay? We gotta get cleanly through the first one. As long as he doesn't take the spear out, because now I'm not even used to that. I forgot he could even do that.
You can become a real human. Come to me, my son.
God. That one is fast.
To the Grand Covenant like the other puppets because of Carlo's memory.
I'm like dead.
within you.
Oh, I'm not on heal. I made a big boo-boo.
You have gone astray. Troublesome puppet. Your freedom is not for you. Carlo. No father wants to resort to the lash, but there's no other way. If you can't find those memories,
Hey, not so bad, not so bad, not so bad, not so bad.
how dare you? You're just a puppet. Nothing more.
No stag? No stagger on this, really. Too little, too late. Oh shit! What the? Yes! Come on! No! Ah.
Were you going to destroy Carlo's heart?
Yo, I just Bruce Lee punched a hole through his chest. Ripped his heart out, dog. Kung Fu style. Smashed it in my fist. Bro, why did they go so Kung Fu on this? That was dope. Well, yeah, shortest stream ever, thank God. So we can switch into, you know what we gotta do.
No. You're just a useless puppet.
Damn. That's pretty harsh, right? Armstrong. Senator Armstrong has entered the chat. Look at that. Free from the puppet string. There it is. In honor of the great writer Carlo Collodi. Is that who wrote Pinocchio? Look at this. Pretty good, right? It wasn't so bad at the end. The main thing is, like, I even thought about it last night. Is yesterday I was actually getting pretty far into it, but I was dodging everything. And he's so fast and chases you so much that you have to block or you just run out of stamina. Do I have time to go grab something real fast before it gets to the end credit scene, or is it going to pop up like in the middle? What do you think? Shout out to all these people though. South Korea on the map, baby. Isn't that where this is from? Look at all this. All these people killed it. Every last one of them. All right, I'll be right back in 1 second. Hold on. Good game, good game, good game. You guys, I did so good. Aren't you proud of me? And what's funny is, I even started the stream like so early and beat it before we know anybody even got here. I love this game. Let's talk about it for a bit. How you guys doing, Serena? How's your day going? Surplus, are you working? Are you working right now? They're not candies, dude. They're peanuts. I grabbed a handful on my way back upstairs. It is a victory, though. Victory snack. More like I remembered that I forgot to eat lunch. And honestly, when I killed that boss, I was like, thank God. Because I felt the hunger for a minute. Man. This game is so good. So you're telling me if I skip the scene, we won't see the after credit scene? Because I feel like a lot of people skip the credits. Or maybe a lot of people missed it. Oh, this is the voice cast here, I think. Yeah. I'm so excited to do this tier list, to be honest. I just like this game a lot. I wanted to get a tier list up on the channel alongside the other ones with the games that we like a lot, you know? Oh, I can skip this? Oh, okay. Let's do it.
I have a final report on the Crot experiment.
You certainly took your time, Paracelsus. Your findings?
I think we have a new brother. A new type of humanity, so to speak.
There are many forms of eternal life.
It's intriguing and worth further observation.
Noted. And we'll have to get his arm back anyway.
I'm counting on it. Expect another report at the next meeting. Paracelsus returning. Ah, and when I return, I will find her. For sure. Another key of ours. Dorothy.
Oh, what? That's crazy. So they're trying to even connect them? Oh, what a cool teaser, man. Listen, if this company's making a Souls-like game like Liza P, but like Wizard of Oz, take my money right now. I'm already on board. I'll buy it right now. I think that could be even better than this. That was dope. It was. That was a really cool reveal how they did that. I knew you told me it was coming somehow. I didn't think it was like they were connecting it to this game. I thought it was going to be a whole different thing, which I almost kind of wish it was. I wonder how they're going to do this, but let's talk about it. Hold on. Wait, if you start the next playthrough, you won't be able to continue the current playthrough. Do you wish to proceed? Yeah, let's just see what happens. Okay, Serena's less itchy because of the Benadryl. Surplus loves the music of the credits. It was good. A lot of the music was good, actually.
Can you hear me?
Work never stops.
Geppetto's puppet.
Work never stops. I know,
Need
man.
your help.
I know, man. Look. Look. It never stops. Look. They want me to clock back in. Look. Look at that seamless entry into New Game Plus. That's pretty cool. Reset P organ? I mean, yeah, probably. Gives me all my quartz, 19. I wonder how many total are in the game. So there you go. And then we're right into New Game Plus. Do we get to keep all of our weapons? We get to keep all of our weapons. Probably all of our Legion arms, amulets, parts. Pretty much everything. And we've got our ergo that we earned from that final boss. Pretty cool. So I'm going to stop here. Let's switch gears. Let's do the tier list now, but let's talk about everything, anything and everything. Yeah, it loads really fast. Dude, the performance on this game on the PS5 was phenomenal. I didn't have any problems with it. No bugs, no crashes or weird stuff or load times. None of that. None of it, dude. None of it. Okay. Let's see what the hell. We're going to switch gears here, guys. We gonna switch gears here, guys. I hope you're ready to do what we came to do. What we do oh so well. Give me just a few seconds here. Boo! Boo! Higgins is still mad about the alarm sound effect after all this time. He's still bugging about it. It's okay. Okay, can you believe it? I'm already almost ready. I've got a tier list ready to go here. Looks like, yeah, I'm happy. People are already making tier lists. Don't worry, I'm going to get some soundtrack going. I know. Just give me a second there, big boy. You just calm down there. I'm going to get this one. I think this is all of them. This should be like all the songs. Let me see. Oh, I forgot to post this one. Here. Go. Okay, OST. Ready to go. Tell me if you guys can hear it. Give it a sec. There it is. We're going to keep it nice and low. Slow and low. Oh, actually, hold on. Yeah, let's do this one. This one's better. This one's all the records. That's a better one. Cool. Okay, you guys can hear it? It's coming in. Is it coming in nice and, Ooh, there it is. It's pretty good. Just keep me posted on the volume. All right, I'm almost ready. Ooh, that's a good song, actually. That's a good song. Bang, 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 bang. Whoa! There you go, guys. How's that? Pretty good? How you guys feeling? Turn it down just a little bit. Now that it's cranking up. There you go. You just let me know if we need more. Yo, what about the next game? Oh, you'll see about that, Death Note. You'll see about that. You guys ready to rock? Okay. Welcome. Welcome. No. Let me do that again. We could do that better, right? Welcome to the definitive Lies of P All Bosses Peers list. We're going to run through them all, one by one, and we're going to rank them. Not just based on difficulty, like usual, but just how cool they are, how fun they are to fight, how not fun they are to fight, visual design, character design, difficulty weighs into, of course. Now, I feel like the first thing we got to get out of the way, right out of the gate, I love this game. So as you know, we just beat it. Just killed the final boss minutes ago. Okay? I love this game. I even think this game's getting kind of a bad rap from some people, and I don't understand. Black Myth Wukong, any thoughts? I love it. Can't wait. It's on my list. Big anticipation for me. Yep. This game's getting a little bit of a bad rap. People are like, it's a Souls ripoff. You know, it doesn't do enough of its own thing. It's just like a template of a Souls game. I couldn't disagree more. I not only think this game does its own thing, I think it does its own thing very well. Honest to God, I think I rate this game higher than some of the even official Souls games. This one's up there for me with like Sekiro, Bloodborne, Elden Ring, Lies of P is like up in here. It is. It's probably, it's above Dark Souls 2. It's above Demon Souls. Like, I love those anyway. I'm just saying, it's better than a lot of them. So, like, I think it's getting a bad rap. And I think, I don't know exactly why. I think it's a mixture of things. Because, like, it's no lie. It's obviously taking heavy inspiration from the Souls games. So, like, to some people, it feels like a ripoff. But it just improves so many things. In fact, I just want to say real fast, the things that elevated this game for me, above even many of the other official Souls games, like, I think Lies of P is the best Souls-like game, bar none. Even better than some of the official Souls games. Here's some of the stuff I like better about the gameplay itself. Okay, I was thinking about this. Let me try to not forget anything. Number one, I like how it's a mixture of like Sekiro and Bloodborne, where it's like, you've got the dodge roll with the quick step, which works the same, but you've also got the perfect parry from Sekiro, but you get the chip damage. So if you just block, you take a little bit of damage, but then you can get the health back with the rally mechanic like Bloodborne. And it's like all 2 or 3 of these mechanics taken from these other games, but they're all are viable here in different scenarios, and I love it. Also love how you can break the enemies and even a lot of the boss's weapons by doing the perfect parry enough, and then it changes the fight, and it's like another strategy you can work in. It's so damn cool. I honestly, I know this is like blasphemy. I feel like I like Lies of P even more than Elden Ring. The only thing, I don't think the vast majority of people are going to agree with that. But like, you know, for me, I like the linear kind of interconnected Souls games more than the open world of Elden Ring. I love Elden Ring. I think it's like a great game, but I think my personal taste likes this more. I really do. And I think it's going to be absolute blasphemy to say that, but that's how I feel. So I love how you can break the weapon. There was multiple boss fights. We were even like intentionally breaking their weapon or shield just to make the second phase easier. It was cool, man. I love the way the stagger mechanic works. Similar to like Sekiro, but it's not a full death blow. you get like a big damage hit. But I like even the little nuances of this, where I can like, after I stagger him, I can try to squeeze in a couple little hits and then do the big hit. But if I take too long, I run out of time. And then there's even like upgrades in the game that play into that, where you can like extend that time frame of the stagger. And it's cool. I also like how later in the game, there were some enemies, especially bosses, where you'd get the stagger hit, but it seemed like they wouldn't stop at first. And they did like one more like couple crazy hits and then finally went down. Like they just started kind of playing with these ideas in cool ways. It made the combat cooler. I also like the repair mechanic. How that became like a gameplay mechanic in fight where you have to repair your weapon on the grinder. It not only looks badass and is satisfying, but it worked into the gameplay and elevated it also. It's damn cool, bro. All of this elevated the gameplay for me. It was better. I think this is an advancement of some of the combat that's come before in these games. I really do. And I would say even the main things that still put something like Bloodborne or Sekiro higher for me just a bit are a little bit more interesting lore for me, even though I think they did awesome stuff with Pinocchio here. It's nothing to take away from that. I just think it's like a little bit better in stuff like Sekiro or Bloodborne. And the world felt like a little bit more open and interconnected in Bloodborne and Sekiro than this. This felt a little bit more linear, less off the beaten path areas that like wrap around back and stuff. Little bit more straight line with little side alleys to get items. I don't think it took away from the experience, but it's definitely something that elevates stuff like Bloodborne and Sekiro. You know what I mean? I don't know. And then some of the areas definitely in like Bloodborne is just more aesthetically dripping with detail. There were some areas in this game that were less polished and everything, but damn, dude, everything else about this game slaps. I love this game. Okay? I have none of the complaints that I've heard people say. We're going to go through these bosses one by one and see what I think in retrospect. But like, I don't think any of them were cheap. I didn't start Attack on Titan yet, no, but I plan to soon. I also like in this game that you can swap the weapons in the handle. Though, I don't know, I didn't care that much, but it's cool. It's cool. I didn't play with it that much. Let's just get this going. I'm going to try to do this kind of like, you know, in the order that you'd expect, but let's just see what I can do here. What was the first one? The first one's the parade guy, right? Where's he at? The parade master. This is the first guy right here. Right here. This is where it all begins. And even this one was so cool to me because I did not do the demo of this game. I just dove in when it came out. And honestly, this was the first like boss even right out of the gate where I was like, okay, this is going to be nuts. The animations and the whole scene is cool. I'm trying to he's not that complicated. I bet you this is one of those bosses if I went back to now, it'd be so easy, right? But for the beginning, I don't even know if... I'm trying to remember if I died at all on this one. Probably a couple times, maybe? But this is probably like, you know, what? Akin to like the first bosses in like Dark Souls and... I'm trying to think. Like the Cleric Beast. I don't know. It's kind of mid. It's mid compared to some of these other epic ones. Parade Master is not the most amazing start to a game, but I think it's pretty good. I feel like it's either going to be B or C. And I think I'm going to go C only because I'm anticipating some of these other ones to be better. I don't know. He's the first boss of the game. He's either going to be low B or high C. I'm going to leave him high C punch for now. Okay? That's not bad. It's a good introduction to the game, but there's also nothing like that steps it up another level, I feel like, compared to like the first one in Dark Souls where you can like drop off the ledge. And then Bloodborne, what can you do? I don't know. You could set it on fire, I guess. Whatever. I think he's going to go high C for now. Okay, that's where he's going to go. Next one. Who was the next one? I think it was the Mad... No, was it the Mad Donkey or the Scrapped Watchman? It's the Mad Donkey came next. I was actually very pleasantly surprised when we got to the Mad Donkey because I was kind of in the dark about this game. And I didn't do the demo or see any of it really. And I was so happy that there was like these hunter-style fights in this game. Like the other humans that are quick and agile like you. Like the hunters in Bloodborne. That's basically what all these are. All of the human fights in this game felt like the hunters from Bloodborne. I think a little bit less interesting other than the donkey. The donkey was probably one of my favorites because I like remembered the donkey from Pinocchio. Turning kids into donkeys or whatever. So I thought it was cool. Donkey! Yeah, I thought it was cool. For the first, like, humanoid NPC fight, honestly, I feel like it's more memorable than even some of these other ones. I'm gonna go B just because I even was like, more excited to see the donkey than I was the Parade Master. Because I was like, okay, it's definitely gonna feel even more like Bloodborne style stuff, and they did it good. So I'm going to go, it's either going to be super low B for the Mad Donkey, or again, high C. But I'm going to keep him at B for now, because I personally was even more excited than the Parade Master. Because I expected a thing like the Parade Master. Didn't expect this till I got to it. Then, it was the Scrapped Watchman. Now, this is the dude that, for me, was like the first actually kind of hard boss. I think I died a few... I think I beat the donkey right away, if not the second time. Same with the Parade Master. I'd have to go back and look. The Watchman killed me a few times. Watchman was the first one where I was like, okay, it's going to be kind of hard. I thought I was going to plow through the game until this guy. And honestly, there's some good stuff about this guy. Remember when he would do the moves where his arms would like wind up in the air and then slam? It had this certain rhythm to it, almost like Sekiro. Which, that's why I don't get the complaints about this game. Maybe some of the bosses don't have it as obviously. But like, bosses like this, there's a definite rhythm and flow to the moves. I was even like starting to do the parry on this guy after the third or fourth run, just based off the audio cues alone. Because he'd like build up with this whole sound effect and then slam it down. Build up again, slam it down, and then do the bigger one with both that was kind of longer, and then slam it down. And it was cool. He's got a good mustache, bonus points. He's got the electricity going on, so we're starting to see some of the elemental effects. This guy is better than the other ones. This guy goes higher than any of these so far. I thought this is actually a pretty well-designed boss. And it's also the first one that I was really trying to take advantage of the staggers and everything. He's gonna go A for now. He's the first, like, oh shit moment. Scrap Watchman was the first, like, oh, okay, this is gonna be a whole thing. Okay? I think he's gonna be good. Probably low A by the time we're done, but we'll see. He's above Mad Donkey and Parade for sure. I remember him. And then it's cool. Oh my god, but I think I'm going to give it more to the Swamp Monster when we get there. I'm going to save it for that. But it's cool how you end up fighting him again in this other way. And I'm going to save it for the props for that boss. But it's just cool. He's an A. He's an A. Now let me try to remember what comes next. After him, I think it's going to be Puppet of the Future, who we run into next. Which this is kind of like one of those side mini-boss ones, even though he's not so mini. I feel like we could, for each of the ones in this list, we could be like naming it's like Dark Souls or Bloodborne counterpart. Because a lot of these feel that way. Scrapped Watchman, like, already feels like, what's the electric Dark Beast Parl? Scrapped Watchman is Dark Beast Parl. So if you come up with any, shout it out in the chat or comments or whatever, because I'm telling you, this guy's Parl. and then moving to Puppet of the Future. Puppet of the Future is like it's like the giant from Dark Souls. They'll like step on you, or like Elden Ring, the troll. It's either the troll from Elden Ring or like the last giant from Dark Souls 2 or something. But it's the same kind of moves. He's just big, he's slow, he stomps on you. It's not like a full boss, but it's like a mini boss kind of thing. He definitely killed me a few times because this first one you run into, he's in this poison, like, what is it, decay or corrosive swamp, and you got to fight him in there, and you got to keep running back out, and the status ailment, you know. I don't know. It's cool looking, but it's not that fun. I don't like it that much. It's low. It's lower than these. It's either going to be low C or even a D. I don't think I'm going to go D just because I don't think I hate anything in this game that much. We'll see. I think he's going to go C for now. Oh, the giant tree monster, maybe? Yeah. Yeah. He's going to go low C. Now, after that, I ran into... you know who it would have been? It would have actually been this guy. It would have been this guy. I don't know if we got a good picture of this guy. Look. Oh, we do. Yeah. You guys remember this guy? I bet you forgot. This guy was quick. Survivor. We found him on the way to, who was it? The King's Flame boss. And he was in that little off room, and it was another NPC kind of hunter style fight. Also pretty cool. And he gave us the cool outfit and the mask, and I wore this mask for a while. Right, that's where we got it. And I don't think everybody found him on the first playthrough, because I've had some comments on some of the other videos where people are like, where did you get that mask? Like, I never found this guy. But we somehow found him easily. And it was kind of cool, man. I don't know. It wasn't anything revolutionary, but it was another cool, like, hunter NPC fight. Little mini-boss thing. I don't know. I think he goes... He's up there with the donkey. Probably below donkey. Donkey's more memorable. I don't know. He's below... No, I like him. I'm going to put him up there with donkey. Yeah. And then right after him... we got King's Flame Fuoco. How do you say this? Fuoco. King's Flame Fuoco. Fuoco.
Foco.
This guy whooped my ass so hard. Bro, he did. This guy killed me a lot. Remember? I think this is the first boss that it was also due to the timing, you know, but like we had to stop the stream and then beat him on the next day. I don't think it's going S tier. This is the Demon of Hatred, by the way. If we're going to keep up our tradition of giving them their soul's counterpart, this is the Demon of Hatred. He's even got the little crotch area that you hit and it wiggles and stuff when he's moving around. He's got like the fire charges. It's the Demon of Hatred, bro. I wouldn't even be surprised if we found out that some of these were literally inspired by the ones we're saying. It's like they're like, take the Demon of Hatred and make it a robot in the puppet world. And it's this. I love it. I thought it was great, dude. The only complaint I had about this boss, I don't know if they already patched it. Because I thought, by the way, caveat, because this may change if you've already beat the game earlier. I beat every single one of these bosses before the patch. Like, none of the bosses I beat were affected by the patch other than Simon Manus. I had to fight Simon Manus post-patch change. So, that kind of sucks. But whatever. As far as I know, the other ones weren't affected by it. And I beat this guy before. He whooped my ass, dude. I died a lot, man. I probably died 20 times or something to this guy. I don't know what it was. The only complaint I had about this guy was some of the fire attacks he would do. Even if I was behind the pillar, the fire would, like, hit me. And I know, like, fire in games is, like, sometimes like that. But, dude, it was an annoying one. Because, like, you're obviously supposed to use those pillars in that way. if you can during that fight. So it felt cheap when you'd be behind the pillar, but the fire doesn't visually hit you, but you still die. That sucks. Right, exactly. The AoE attacks and stuff. Either way, I still love this boss. I think it was cool. And then he's got the phase 2 where he starts, I love how he starts like opening his own little furnace, and it's just like, he's animated. All of the bosses I feel like are animated so cool and so polished. He starts shooting his gun at you. It was a good one, man. It was a good one. This one whooped me harder than any of these up here so far. It's up here above, it's up there tied with Watchmen. That's where he's at for me. I had to get good on him, which is what you want. You know, so like I liked it. I felt like it was fair other than the fire. Not a big deal. That's another thing, dude. Some of the complaints I'm hearing about like either hitboxes, which I didn't have any broken hitboxes aside from this guy's fire, I think. And then animations not being fair and stuff. Like, I feel like I could go through every other Souls games and find examples of the same thing, if not worse. So like, I'm not giving this game an excuse for it, but it just feels unfair to act like it's worse in this game when if anything, it's better in this game and there's less examples to me. Oh yeah. The melee attacks can light the oil on the fire or like on the ground and everything. Yeah, when he hits it, I thought it was cool. There's a lot going on in that fight. It's cool. Okay? I like it. What was next? Now I'm going to start to forget. Let's see. These are all late game. Was it the first version of the Brotherhood? Or was it the Fallen Bishop, maybe? Let's do the Fallen Bishop next, I guess. Because these other ones were later. I don't even think the Brotherhood was yet. So I think it's this one. The next one was the Fallen Archbishop Andreas. You know what's crazy about... You know this game is good. I did probably 30-something hours was my playthrough, by the way. I did 30-something hours. And maybe 32 hours, something like that. Full game, to the point where looking back at these bosses now, I'm like, oh yeah. Like, it feels so long ago. It feels like a full game, a full journey, dude. And I feel the same way I felt when I beat any of the other Souls games. Like, damn, dude, I feel complete. I feel satisfied. It feels like I overcame and just like accomplished this. It feels good, and I'm ready to chill and take a break. It's great, dude. It checks all the boxes, man. This is a great boss. This is another boss that is animated so well, and it had this creative twist in the second phase that started this trend that we saw with a couple of the later bosses that I thought was so cool. So when you first walk in, it's like this big mess, this big fat amalgamation mess, right? And it's like a beast that you're fighting. But then the phase 2 thing happens, and like the priest dude is like on the back, on the long tentacle thing, and he's got that like staff cane thing. And so you've essentially got two sides of the boss, and it like turns upside down in the middle of the fight randomly, where you'll be attacking the big priest dude on the tentacle thing that's hitting you, but then he'll try to flip over, and then it's like he's on the backside. It's hard to explain even. He's on the backside, and it's making you deal with the beast side of it until you get around to the other side again. It was just cool, man. It was like two bosses in one that would flip over, and you'd be attacking the other side of it. Two bosses for the price of one. And it was cool. And it was also the first boss that felt so satisfying when you would land those hard-to-time perfect parries on the humanoid side of him, the priest. It was good, man. This is another, in my opinion, really cool boss. It's also one that's really challenging until you start using fire on it, and they introduce the fire stuff, at least some of it, in this area. So it's like perfect. The game design's good. Like, you're leading up to this, and on the way up to this, you realize using fire on these types of creatures is better, and electricity is better on the puppets. So then by the time you get here, hopefully you go back to the shop with Vanini and get the new fire upgrade Legion arm, because that helps with this guy a lot. Okay? You got me on that high-def 55-inch TV. Had to do it, baby. Welcome, old Vidal. Isaac, what's up? Great boss. I think it's a great boss. It's a great build-up. I like how you even come into the room and it's not even a cutscene before you get to him, and he's like there, but he sees you, that he slithers down in the hole. It's just a great build-up, builds anticipation. It's a hard fight. It's another one that killed me like a million times. Felt really gratifying when I finally beat it. Honest to God, it's up here with these. I feel like it's up here like this. It's up here in the A. It's up here in the A. So now I'm going to try to follow your thing here. Bishop, and then what do we go to? Brotherhood is the next one. That's the rest of them. Does this list have the first interaction with the Brotherhood? I think it's missing them, isn't it? What a bummer. I think it's missing. This only has one run-in with the Brotherhood. So this list is missing one, you guys. Because if I'm not mistaken, this here... No, this is the first time you fight them. But then it's missing the second time you fight them, right? I think that's what it is. Yeah. It's missing one of them. And I guess we'll have to make do. So check it out. I guess we'll talk about this one now, because this was like the next one, I think, right? And this is the correct one, because you fight these guys twice. One earlier on and one late game. Okay? This one, again, is so good, dude. I'm telling you, man. The bosses in this game are so good. This game's a 9 out of 10 for me. There's a part of me that wants so bad to give it a 10. There's a part of me that feels like I could very well see myself giving their next Wizard of Oz game a 10. If they double down and it's just better in every way. This is a 9 out of 10 for me. Very close to a 10. It's a 10 at its best, a 9 at its worst for me. That's how good this is. Okay? Eldest of the Black Rabbit Brotherhood. This is our first gank fight, ladies and gentlemen. Buckle up. This is our first gank fight. Okay? But it elevates it. Again. It's like, even though they know they're stealing from Souls games, they're elevating it. They're at least adding to the conversation. You know what I mean? They're adding to it. So it's a gank fight where you've got 4 of these Black Rabbit Brotherhood members. And honestly, even the intro is dope. Because you walk in, this text is kind of covering it. But you walk in, I always get Bioshock vibes with the rabbits. It's like splicers almost. But like, they've got this casket open and liars written in it. Like they're waiting to put yo ass in it. It's so cool, dude. But then the way it works is better than normal gank fights. Instead of just like, here's all 4 of them, figure it out. It's just a little bit more thought into it. Where you have to fight the big guys there the whole time in this one, if I recall. The big brother with the big cloud buster sword is here the whole fight. But then what happens is the other ones will jump in to help, but one at a time. But so you can kind of do this in 2 different ways. And I didn't even think about doing this in a different way until I saw some other streamer, I forgot who it was fighting it the opposite way. Because like, so picture this, you walk in and you're fighting the big guy alone. Then the little rabbit sister jumps down. And then you've got the little sister and the big guy, right? You can choose to focus on the big brother still and try to take his ass down. But then if you do it that way, after a certain amount of time, another one's going to jump down, and now you got to deal with 3. And then after a certain amount of time, another one's going to jump down, and you got to deal with 4 at once. Or you can do it like I did it, where once one of the other ones jumps down, kill them right away. Focus on the big one again. Then another one will jump down, kill them right away. And then that way, you're kind of keeping the numbers down. It's a little bit more manageable. So again, there's just like a lot of like strategy options here. And then even to add to it, the whole way about how the big guy's got the big sword, but if you parry him enough, you even see his sword like heating up red hot, and then it breaks. So if you can break his sword at the beginning, it makes the rest of the fight way easier. And then someone's going to need to confirm this for me, by the way, Surplus. Hopefully somebody can in the comments later, maybe. But when you fight them later on, his sword is still broken, even how it's stuck in the ground broken. And I'm wondering if I didn't break his sword in this fight early on, would his sword still be broken later, or would it be the full sword? Because that is dope, bro. I'm telling you, that's so cool if that's the case. But for me, it feels like it, because I broke his sword, and then later in the game, when you fight them again, his sword's broken. And I just love that. So I really honestly love everything about this fight. I feel like it's a gank fight done right, which, by the way, they've all got different elemental things. The little sister's got the grapple hook Legion arm and fire damage, so it's going to overheat you, makes it a bitch. Spear dude, Buckethead, has got lightning damage. The other one has got poison damage. I got it backwards, by the way. I've been saying it wrong. The fire one's not the little girl one. The little girl is the one with the poison damage that's really quick. That's what it was. So anyway, it's just cool. And then, okay, what's the equivalent? You want the Bloodborne? Surplus already confirmed it. So the sword will be broken or not, depending on what you do. And I just think that is just so well thought out, and it's so damn cool. Higgins has given this game a 10 out of 10. I think Surplus gave it a 10 out of 10 too. So I'm glad that a lot of people are liking this game. I don't argue that at all. I feel like I could see myself giving it a 10. I could see myself giving it a 9. Anyway. Shadows of Yharnam. The Soul's counterpart for this boss is the Shadows of Yharnam. Shadows of Yharnam. Because you've got the multi-gank person fight with the different elemental attacks. Right? Nailed it. Shadows of Yharnam. I love that fight, man. I really love this fight. Honest to God, there's a part of me that even wants to go S. Is that crazy? You guys... Is that crazy? Part of me wants to go... I'm going to go S for now. It's not like a huge spectacle, but there's just so much gameplay and strategy to it. I love it. I'm going S for now. Low S. It might drop down to high A. I don't even think it's necessarily as memorable as some of these ones here, but damn, dude, the gameplay and the strategy make it S. It's a gank fight done right. Not annoying, which is hard to do. Challenging and not annoying. We didn't think of a counterpart for Fallen Archbishop. I'm trying to think. It's kind of like I don't know. You got any other Souls game counterpart for Fallen Archbishop? Not really, because it's unique enough to where it does that flip over thing. So I'm gonna leave that one out for now. What's up, Doug? How you doing, buddy boy? How you doing? Welcome. So I'm gonna skip that one for now. But yeah, this first Brotherhood fight is S. Love it. Let me think about what comes next. What came next? What came next if we're leading up to this? I'm starting to lose track, Surplus. Ooh, Vort? Yeah, not quite. Vort is actually even more like... Vort could be Scrapped Watchman. Vort, it feels like Scrapped Watchman mixed with Dark Beast Parl. You know? Kind of like a blend. So now, Let me think. I think Robber Weasel was later. What is the Atoned? Why am I not remembering the Atoned? What is the Atoned? Did I fight this? Did I fight this? I don't feel like I remember the Atoned. Talk about the Atoned, and we'll do Mad Clown since that was actually next. Mad Clown Puppet. It wasn't as hard for me as Melania, Doug, the final boss, but it was very hard. There was a lot of late game bosses that were very hard. There was a lot of early game bosses that were very hard. There was a lot of mid game bosses that were very hard. I absolutely love this game. I hope Doug tries it. I can't wait to hear Doug's thoughts. Somebody that loves Bloodborne like him and other Souls games, you know? Okay, there you go. Chat confirmed. The Atoned was before Bishop. I lied, so I didn't fight them. I didn't get the choice to fight them. So I guess I got to leave out the Atoned. It looks like another NPC fight. However, hold on, though, because I came back to that Archbishop room later, and that nurse had turned into something else, and it even had like a boss life bar, I think, or a name. What was that? Was that the Atoned? I think that might have been the Atoned. But either way, Mad Clown Puppet. This is another one, man. Some of these bosses get elevated your first playthrough not knowing what to expect. This is one of those games that thrives on the unknown of what's coming next. Because some of the bosses and the things that you run into, you just do not expect. We'll do White Lady next, because you're right, she was before this, right before this. But I'm already talking about Puppet. So this is leading right up to that big old factory of the future puppets and stuff and all that, right? And I thought the intro to this boss was so top tier. This is a mini boss, by the way. It's not like a full boss. Oh my god. You come out into this like fiery street with destruction. And they did this so well, in my opinion. They did it so well. Where it's not a cutscene, but you see way up in the distance, up in the street, you see this big thing start walking down the street, looking like Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal, or like that guy from Spawn. And he's like just huge, total unit. And he's just walking at you from far away. It is so cool. And then he's got the wackiest like moves, that big old extendo spring punch. Boing! It's all slow. I thought it was so cool, man. And he also whooped my ass a few times. Probably more than 10, right? Damn, maybe even 20? Fat Pennywise. He took me down a lot, dude. At least this one did. This first like mini boss form of him took me down a lot. I thought the spectacle was top notch. I have no hate for this fight. I feel like he's gonna go A. I feel like he's gonna go A. Lowest A. Maybe B. It's either low A or high B. He can't go up there with the Watchman. He'll go high B. He could be A, dude. I thought it was so good, dude. The way that he like dabs on you when when he beats you. This game is so much better than people are acting like it is. People are being silly, dude. Silly, dude. Thanks, Solvadel. Since Lies of P is a new game, how did you fight everything? It's like you knew where they were, or maybe you didn't fight them all. No. In fact, Doug, it's a good question. That kind of ties into one of my things I said earlier before you got here. I said, this is up there for me with Bloodborne and Sekiro. But the only thing that elevates Bloodborne and Sekiro for me is the worlds were like a little bit more thought out, a little bit more off the beaten path areas that like interconnect and kind of flesh out the world more optional bosses and optional things to miss, Lies of P is definitely a little more linear. It doesn't feel that way. Like, they do a good job at, like, it kind of ushers you through the game, but, like, the sights keep changing and it doesn't ever get stale. There's a really good enemy variety in the game, and the visuals kept changing, but it's more linear. So I feel like there's less bosses you're going to accidentally miss. I don't think so. In fact, I think the only one that I've missed is this Atoned one. And the only reason I missed it is because it's one of those things in the game where you make a choice, this or this, and you can't do it all in one playthrough. You got to do two. You know? So I don't think that's a slant to Lies of P as much as it's like a props to Bloodborne and Sekiro, you know, even maybe some Dark Souls, you know. The only reason I'm leaving Elden Ring out of some of these conversations is it's hard for me to fit it into the same realm because it's open world. And games like Lies of P and Bloodborne and Sekiro really thrive with that attention to detail and like the cultivated gameplay of knowing the player's going to come here now and then do this, and they can like build the game around that. Elden Ring feels like a whole different thing. The only thing you could compare from Elden Ring to this is just if you were doing bosses 1-to-1, you know? Right. So like, I've had some people ask me though, like, do you like it more than Elden Ring? And like, well, I kind of personally do. Like, I could see myself playing through this again before Elden Ring again. But it's because I know that I'm kind of this offshoot of the community that really likes this like cultivated, halfway linear, halfway interconnected world. I like that more than open world for Souls games. I just do. It's my style more. And I like the really, really, really challenging stuff even more than I feel like the average person. Like, I thrive on the masochistness of it. I do. So this I like a lot. I just do. Pickle dude. Let's move on. Let's move on, man. I was excited to talk about this. So yeah, this is the only one we missed, I guess. The Atoned. It just looks like another NPC one. Just for the sake of the conversation, you guys can tell me where to put it if you know. Northwest Kings, you're not late. It's all good. I started really early today. I was excited. I had time. The AO, what's up? I'm going to put the Atoned up here with the other NPC fights. The other hunter fights. You know, like the Mad Donkey, Survivor, the Atoned. Just know that I didn't fight it, but it seems like one of these. I'm going to put it there. Okay? C tier. Okay. Surplus says C. He's already played the game a few times. I'll put it C. That's fine. It doesn't have my seal of approval, but I'm putting it there. So now we add, right before the Mad Clown. Where did I put Mad Clown? B? I kind of want to go A. Listen, real fast about the Mad Clown. I could go, I'm going to put it B, but I could go A with that clown, dude. The way that he dabs on you, bro, when he beats you, it's crazy, man. Dog, way better bosses than 2. It has way better bosses than a lot of the Souls games. I'm just being real. It does. I think this has a lot of better bosses than Demon Souls. I think it's got better, I'm not saying overall, I'm just saying it's got a lot better. It's got better ones than Dark Souls 1 a lot of the time. It's got better ones than Dark Souls 2 a lot of the time, for sure. Probably all of them. I mean, damn, son. So before the Mad Clown, what we had was the White Lady. No, not the Karen at your local grocery store arguing with the cashier, but the White Lady with the, you know, riposte fighting style. This is another NPC style fight, but it's a little bit elevated. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. It's a little bit elevated. So this is before you got into the inner city kind of area where we found Mad Clown, where all hell was kind of starting to break loose. But this is when you first entered that new area. And I got mad. Tell me, anybody in the comments later even, if anybody got Sander Cohen vibes from this whole scene. Because you walk in and you see all these like puppets that are mutilated and posed in like artistic poses. And then you walk up and just like, I don't know, very, very Sander Cohen, BioShock vibes. I feel like this whole game gave me like Bloodborne meets Sekiro in terms of the combat and all that. Heavy emphasis on Bloodborne in terms of the aesthetic and everything. But a little splash of BioShock. Psh, little splash. With some of the people talking to you on intercoms and the way that the voice acting is done. Some of this whole, like, I'm an artist, even though I'm a madman, serial killer vibes, you know, throughout the game. With this white lady scene and also with the King of Riddles when you eventually find the King of Riddles. Very BioShock. So this NPC can parry you. I forgot about that. I thought this was elevated because you walk into that scene and she drops down into the scene. You also get the mask, which I guess you do off a lot of the other NPCs too. It was a good one. I think it was better than... Let me see. It was better than these ones. I'm going to go above... It's probably a little bit above Mad Donkey, but it's not going to go above Mad Clown. I'm going to remember Mad Clown way longer than I'm going to remember White Lady. I might even remember Mad Donkey before I remember White Lady. Oh! Northwest Kings, you put that stick away. No drive-bys. You put that strap down, bro. Tuck it. Thank you, bro. $2.79 for Northwest Kings, the one and only. Welcome, Y. Sherpa, remember me? Yeah, of course I remember you. Who else has a name like that? Butterbread coming in hot. Back to the list. Thanks, Northwest Kings. Means a lot. White Lady goes high B, mid B. I'm going to say mid B right up in there. Below Mad Clown. Below Mad Clown, for sure. Okay. What came next? So it was White Lady, Mad Clown. Then came... I feel like it was... King of Puppets? Really? No, King of Puppets was the end of this, which means Champion Victor came before King of Puppets. Is that correct? Northwest Kings with another $2.79. Papa Sherp, LOL, lol. Fat socks over here today. Fattest pockets. King of Puppets was next? Well. I don't know. Oh! Thank you, bro. You made good on that 5. Goodbye, Y. Good to see you. You made good on the $5. Thank you, bro. Means a lot. Thanks for supporting the cause. Okay? Northwest Kings just bought the coffee that won this game. Now listen up. Let me tell you something about the King of Puppets. I'm telling you, man. This right here is the first boss that absolutely destroyed me. Destroyed me. Mentally, emotionally, physically, it was turmoil. It was so bad. It was absolutely terrible how much this boss broke me down. Is this the first 3 phase? I think this is the first 3 phase. It's gotta be, right? I think so. Yeah. So this is the first 3 phase fight. And it is an absolute beast, bro. And I think this is an S tier boss. I do. So this is when you finally make your way past the Mad Puppet into that big factory with the future robots and stuff, into the main, what do you call it, throne room? Yeah? To the King of Puppets. And oh my god, this boss kind of checks all the bosses. Oh, was the Bishop 3 phase? Okay, I guess you're right. This felt more like 3 distinct phases. Well, no, okay, you're right. This boss checks all of the boxes, though, for S tier, I feel like. Absolute spectacle. No, this was 2 phase. Like, when I say phase, I don't just mean a whole new life bar. Like, if the boss completely changes the moves, that's a new phase. You know what I mean? So this, to me, is 3 phase. Because you walk in, and it's an absolute spectacle. This dude is massive. He's got stuff hanging off him. It's moving around as he's like pipes and hoses are moving around. His arms are like long vacuum hoses. It's crazy, bro. Butter bread. I cannot, bro. Oh, it whooped my ass. This was one of the hardest bosses for me. One of the hardest ones. And it was definitely the first one that made it like, oh my god, you learn phase 1 and 2 so good because you have to just to get to phase 3. And then you don't know phase 3 and it's all different and you have to do it over and over and over. And I will say one thing. I do think this game in particular, I'm on the fence about this and I don't really know how I feel. You guys can help me decide. But there's a part of me. It switched us to Zelda music. Hold on. There we go. There's a part of me that feels like this game overdoes it just a little bit with like the quantity of these long drawn out 3-phase fights. Because like it gets to this point where when you're dying over and over, especially in the 3rd phase, which is always the hardest phase, you start to absolutely just dread and get so annoyed by the 1st phase of these fights because you have to do them over and over and over again just to practice the 3rd phase. And like part of me feels like the big 3-phase fight is cool in a game when it's not all the time. You know what I mean? Like think about when you finally do like Genichiro and Sekiro and it's like a 3-phaser and you're like, oh my god. Or is it not even? Not really. That's a 2-phaser. I'm thinking like Ishin at the end. Right? Where it's like it's this long drawn out 3-phase thing, but it's like one or 2 times in the game. And I could say the same thing probably with like Dark Souls. Like you got like Sister Freed in Dark Souls 3, but it's like one of the only ones that's like that. So when so many bosses become that, oh my god, dude, it kind of just like fills you with dread. So I don't know how I feel about it because then on the flip side of that, I love the challenge. I thrive off it. So this is one of the hardest bosses though for me. I died the most at this one and a few other ones. But overall, I think this is an S tier fight. So you fight him in his huge form, and it's such a goddamn boss room and spectacle. He's breaking tables, dude. Plates are probably flying all over the place. It's hell for the cleanup crew tomorrow, right? Then you get to phase 2. He starts doing this other stuff. You finally get to phase 3, and Romeo comes out of him, and it's like this Romeo puppet that's like you. And it's just like Melania style fire waterfall dance. It's terrible. Honestly, I think the only reason I beat it so easy on the 2nd day is I killed Romeo before it even did the fire move. This was when I was heavy build still. Which, by the way, that's another thing I should caveat about this whole review tier list thing. I started out full strength build up until like past midway through the game when I got the katana. That's when I switched to dex. But I did full motivity strength build all the way with the heaviest weapons up until then, including this fight. And I do think it's a harder way to play this game, at least currently. It's a harder way to play this game. Mostly because when you finally get the stagger option where their health bar flashes white and then you have to land a charge up attack to get the critical hit, the charge up attacks on this heavy weapons are so slow that I was barely able to land any of those options. And then the minute that I switched to the faster build, every critical hit I was getting, every single one. Every single one. Which one are you looking for? What part was that boss in? I'd have to go look, dude. I'd have to go look. I can tell you kind of at the end of this when we're done if you want. Because I'd have to go look. I don't remember. It was somewhere mid-game. And I fought him a lot. Fought him a lot. Okay? In fact, let me just take a sneak peek. I might be able to tell just by looking at the name. Let me just look for you. It would have been like, check number, I'm thinking 6. Thinking 6, let me see. Yeah, 6 and 7. I got to him in part 6. I kept fighting him and beat him in part 7. There you go. So, at any rate, though, I feel like it's S tier, best in the game so far. It's so memorable. I'm going to remember that boss. The animation is smooth. The character design is off the charts. Everything about it is S tier. Best one that we've talked about so far. Okay. Now, then we got to... This is... Oh, I know where we're getting to now. Then we got to... it's either... No, it's not. It's either Robber Weasel or it's Champion Victor. Is it Champion Victor next? I think it's Champion Victor next. Which is funny because we go from one of my favorite bosses in the game to what I think is the worst one. I think this is the worst in the game. Sherpa, what you think about the combat system versus Souls Sekiro? I love it, dude. Sekiro, I think, is my favorite combat. Like in any of these games, I love that game and the combat. And I also love the combat in Bloodborne with the fast-paced rally mechanic, and it just takes both of these and puts them together. I love it. That's why this game is in like my top 3, because the combat. So I didn't like this one. I think this is the only one that missed the mark for me just a little bit. And honestly, same goes for some of the normal enemies that are kind of like the mini-boss style enemies that have the same moveset and boxing, grappling combat. I didn't think these were cool, man. I think this is probably one of the only ones. It's not like a total fail, but it's just a miss. Every Souls-like game can get a miss or two. You can get a pass. You know, you can get a bit of chaos in there. Or something. This is a miss for me. I just didn't like it. I don't think the character design's very cool. I don't think his moves are very cool. It's just like a weaker Haralao, however you say that. It's like a weaker version of that. He's kind of doing a lot of boxing and jump kicks, drop kicks and grabs and slams. And I thought his dialogue was kind of goofy. Sure, it was a little fun, but it kind of stuck out to me. And it was very easy. It was very easy. So there you go, by the way. We were trying to do our counterparts. I forgot, Doug. So this guy's counterpart is Haurlao. That's who this is. No, there's another Godfrey the Grafted coming up. Or Godric, at least. Which one's Godfrey again? I don't remember. But this guy's not that good. He's too easy. I just don't like it. He's like the most forgettable. And he's a little goofy. Yeah, he's like Bane from Batman. His lines were kind of goofy. It just didn't fit in. It kind of did because like in some of that museum area, like these old-timey guys with the mustache and the boxing. I don't know. I just didn't like these parts. Those are my least favorite enemies in the game too. Like near the end with like the... It started looking like an Amazon explorer. Like, what's his name from the original Jumanji, the hunter guy with the blunderbuss? It's like that style. And I just thought it didn't fit in. The rest of the game was like legitimately like cool and kind of dark and unsettling. These were just a little bit too goofy for me. Too goofy. Which, by the way, I don't have a Souls counterpart for King of Puppets. I'm trying to remember, but I can't think of any. Actually... It's Sister Fried. I feel like it's Sister Fried. The Souls counterpart for King of Puppets is Sister Freed. It's like the long kind of 3-phase thing with the fast one with the scythe at the end. I'm going Sister Freed. And then the Souls counterpart for Champion Victor, Haru Lao, I guess I would go. But he's not good. He's the only one that's either going to be... I got to go D, dude. I don't like it. I don't like it. I was going to say low C because it wasn't like broken. It's not like it doesn't work or anything. But it's just like I don't think it fits. I don't think it fits. So there's our first D. Pour some out. For Liza P, we got our first D. All right. Not the best. Don't love it. And that goes for all those enemies too. I think even the Door Guardian does it better. The Door Guardian's a better version of this kind of. But like, I don't know, man. It's just, it felt goofy. It felt goofy. Yeah, if you want to make an omelet, you got to break some eggs. Now, 3 phases was King of Puppets. Technically 2 if you're counting like wholly different phases. But it was technically 3 to me. Because it's like midway through, he changes the moveset a bunch. But then you beat him and it turns into a whole other phase. That's kind of how I'm thinking of it, at least. Yeah, listen, if someone loves Champion Victor, go ahead. I think he sucks. On to the next. Then we have... These are late game. Oh, man, we're getting to some beasts. Oh, boy. Is it Robber Weasel or is it the Swamp? It might be the Swamp. It's Owl Doctor and the Swamp. Now, do you guys remember me talking about Owl Doctor at all? There was a lot of Melania-type bosses in this game, Doug. There was some Melania influence for sure. And Lady Emma. Not Emma, Maria. I get my Souls Maidens mixed up sometimes, you know. Yeah, Doug, they're making Wizard of Oz next. It's gonna be the best. Okay, Owl Doctor is the NPC boss, again, like another hunter-style guy, in the swamp. Hit the deck! In the swamp, leading up to the swamp monster, the green swamp monster, which, oh my god, we'll get to him, Sean Chambers. Don't you worry. We'll get to him. Okay? I thought this one was cool. A lot of these, I don't know, a lot of these NPC fights are kind of lacking variety in some way or another. They try to do it, you know, like Bloodborne, where each one's got a different unique weapon and maybe a different Legion arm ability, but I don't know. They kind of just feel... They feel less memorable to me than the hunters do in Bloodborne for some reason. I don't know exactly why. Maybe it's because I've done Bloodborne more. So I've like unraveled more of the lore and the characters and I have more of an appreciation for it. Maybe that will happen after I do subsequent playthroughs of Lies of P. But I don't forget Dejura, the hunter on the roof in Bloodborne. A lot of the hunters in Bloodborne, I just feel like I even remember them and their place in the world. You know, Eileen the Crow. And like, I don't know. These kind of feel like they're trying to be that, but they don't hit that mark for me. They don't fully hit that mark for me. But I did have a way to improve Owl Doctor. Okay? And people might say, but that wouldn't make sense because it's a human with a mask on or something. Doesn't matter. Doesn't need to make sense. Hear this out. When you walk in the room with Owl Doctor turned and looked at me like this. And then we talked. All you got to do to elevate this one, have Owl Doctor turned away when you walk in, and he turns his neck 180 degrees like an owl, like this. All the way around and looks at you, and then you fight. Boom. I just made the fight cooler. I'm serious. That would have been awesome. That would have been dope. But, as it stands, Owl Doctor was just another NPC up here. I'm just putting them all B, because, like, they all kind of feel the same. They all kind of... It was a similar fight. So it kind of just boils down to which one's mask did you like more. You know what I mean? Other than White Lady that kind of elevated it. And yeah, they've all got some cool lines and dialogue. It just didn't hit that Bloodborne mark for me. Maybe it will next time I play through. And we focus on the lore more. More lore. lore, more lore, you know? Something like that. Yeah, Doug, this game is like, you know, like when you're fighting Melania and you beat her and then it goes into that phase 2 and it's like this whole thing and everybody's like, for the first time, everybody's like, oh my God. That's like every boss in this game. And that's kind of what I mean by like, I feel like it went a little overboard with that. Like you could have even split some of these into 2 different bosses even. Like I feel like the King of Puppets and Romeo could have even been 2 different things entirely. I don't know, man. It's just like every fight, you just came to expect that. So it became less of a novelty. Because like, we started making jokes. Like every boss you walk in, it's like, okay, it's going to be like 3 phases. You know what I mean? So it's almost like they did it too much to where you start to expect it. I don't know. It loses that impact, you know? Okay. After the Owl Doctor, let me see here. We had, oh God. Speak of the devil here. The Green Monster of the Swamp. This is absolutely one of the hardest ones for me. This boss killed me so many times. This boss killed me probably more than the King of Puppets. I think this boss killed me more than the King of Puppets. So far in this list, this boss has killed me the most so far. The Green Monster of the Swamp. And let me tell you, what a son of a bitch. If they didn't have 3 phases, they felt like it. You gotta just, you'll see when you play. It's just every boss became this like, oh my God, when's it gonna end? This thing was hard. But this thing, once again, had so many cool things about it, okay? So you wade your way through the swamp, finally get to this like, there's like puppet parts laying around. It's all swampy and nasty, you know? And you get to this thing. And it's like this hermit crabby, crawly thing with tentacle spear things, right? First phase is so hard at first, man. You have no idea what's going on. But just like all the other fights, you start to realize what's going on. And first phase becomes just like a small bump on the road. Okay? Because you have to get to the next phase to even learn the next phase once again. Oh man, Azaria. Welcome. But I thought once again they elevate it to another degree because it's so cool to me. Let me walk you through this, Doug. Hear this out, bro. I think you're going to like this. You fight this guy for the first phase, and it's hard. Then when you beat him, he crawls like a hermit crab into the body, the puppet body of the scrapped Watchman. So literally, you're fighting this thing. Phase 2, it finds the discarded puppet body of the scrapped Watchman that you beat already, laying in the remains. And it crawls into the Watchman corpse like a hermit crab and starts puppeting the puppet body. It's so dope. It is so good. That is a good idea. Somebody on the dev team was like, yo, have this guy midway through the fight crawl into the body of this guy from the beginning of the game. It was just so cool, dude. So goddamn cool. Yeah. It was so creative. And then it's this whole crazy second fight where it's jumping around like an ape because this is the Liza P equivalent of the Guardian Ape. The Guardian Ape, with the way that it's jumping around and moving around, is the Guardian Ape. Second phase of the Swamp Monster is the Guardian Ape. 100%. 100%. Okay? I thought it was so good, I think it's S. It's right up there with King of Puppets. It's right up there with King of Puppets. And it's elevated a lot with the thing I told you about how it crawls into the other body. It's just so dope, dude. And it was very hard. See, and that's how you know I am a fan. These ones that are the hardest ones are in the S. I love it. What's next, guys? Let's keep this rolling. Let's keep this train rolling. Coming in with the divine service on the record player. Now we got... Right, but before I move on real fast, what made it so cool is it wasn't just the cinematic. Like, it wasn't just that it crawled into the body of the previous boss. But then it had... Thank you for the sub. But then it had some of these same moves as the boss did way back when you first fought him, but they were like a little bit faster. Gyro, maybe, welcome. They were a little bit faster, so that's when I learned that the Watchman was such a good boss, because then they started doing those moves again hours later in the game, and I remembered it in my mind. It was just great, man. What a great game. So then next we've got... Where do we go after that? I think it's Robber Weasel next. Let's just get Robber Weasel out the way, dude. Listen, it's another NPC fight. I kind of like this one a little bit more. I don't know. This one was kind of fun. This one was cool, because this is like when you're exploring the area of the early game, but you've come back and it's all messed up now and, you know, on fire and in ruin and stuff. And then you find Robber Weasel, who is trying to rob you. Right? But they got the fireman axe, which is just cool. The fireman axe is cool. It was kind of a hectic fight in the lobby of the train station. I thought it was neat. I don't think it's so elevated that it's like better than some of these other ones. Like, it might be better than the Survivor and the Owl. I don't know if it's more memorable than the Donkey. It's like right here mid, but it's cool. None of them, I wasn't like upset about any of them. They were all fine. And a lot of these NPC ones here, they're easy enough to where you're not fighting them over and over and over and over. At least I wasn't, to where they never got annoying. They're just kind of cool little things that happen and you move on, you know? Okay, and then after Robber Weasel, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we got to Corrupted Parade Master is the next one, right? Or Door Guardian before Corrupted Parade Master. Sherpa, which game do you like more? Armored Core or Lies of P? Both are good in their own ways, of course. But for simple gameplay and cosmetics, that's actually a really good question, dude. Because when Armored Core came out, I was like, this is my game of the year. For my personal tastes, Armored Core was my game of the year. Lies of P knocked it right off the edge. Lies of P I like more. I just do. And again, that's not to take anything away from Armored Core. And it's kind of hard to compare them side to side because, like, they're totally different gameplay, totally different stuff. And I like different stuff about them. But I feel like I just got a little bit more for my money with Lies of P. And I actually bought Lies of P. I didn't do Game Pass. So the fact that you can even get this on Game Pass is wild to me. This has got to be one of the best games on Game Pass. But I liked it way more than Armored Core. I did. But don't get it twisted. Don't let that make you think that I don't like Armored Core. I loved Armored Core. But this just feels a little bit fuller, a little bit more interesting to me. I just like it more. I had more fun with this, but I loved Armored Core as well. And Armored Core's got the multiplayer element that was really fun too, which I'm undefeated so far. Just want to say. So I think we get to the Door Guardian that's blocking the Corrupted Parade Master. I think. No, I'm early. No, that's later. That's later. Corrupted Parade Master's next, I believe. Or Walker of Illusions. I'm kind of getting lost. I think I'm going to do Corrupted Parade Master next. Doesn't matter. If we don't get the order right, it's okay. So, again, this is that part of the game where you're kind of navigating back through the area of the early game, but it's all corrupted and stuff's coming out of the ground, and it's, you know, we've seen stuff like this in games before. And I will say, The one maybe portion of this game I thought dragged a little bit was some of the end game areas between the bosses. I'm actually okay with the number of bosses. It just kind of felt like in the end game, they started getting like nervous that they had too many bosses and not enough game almost. So it felt like they started kind of padding some of the areas in between these end game bosses, just kind of with pointless enemies. And like, I don't think it was ever bad. It didn't ever reach like bad territory, but I kind of would even liked it more if maybe even 4 or 5 of these final ones were a little bit more just boss gauntlet, streamlined back to back, just spectacle mode. I didn't need the in-between. It started the slog on the later half when I'm running across all those wooden like catwalks and you know, after you run through the temple and you're up in the what do you call it, dude? Like the rafters, I don't know. It just started to slog for me a little bit. Yeah, I've played every other Souls game. Odd Perfect. I'm a big fan. So that's when you fight this guy. And this is the same boss as the early one, but he's corrupted and he's got different moves and he, you know, gives you decay and which melts your weapon and it's a big pain in the ass. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I think it's kind of mid. You know, it's obviously it's not quite a reskin because he's got different moves, but it's one of those things where it's like you've already seen him and now you're doing him again, but different. So I don't know. I think he's going to go above White Lady. He's at least memorable. He goes above White Lady, below Mad Clown. I'm going to remember Mad Clown more than Corrupted Parade. Okay? On to the next. On to the next. Now we get to, I think, the Walker of Illusions. Again, it feels like another one of those, I don't know, like it was cool. I even like the scene when you climb up the ladder and you see it and it's standing there like freaking out, you know? And it's got cool moves. It's a quick, fast-paced fight. Kind of forgettable to me. I don't know. I didn't have to fight it that many times. We killed it pretty quick, but it was kind of forgettable to me. It feels like another boss. It's like kind of like they had this design for this boss, but didn't really fully flesh out or have time to figure out how it fits into things, and it was just there. Like I feel like I kind of just ran into this boss. You know? Like I guess it kind of fits into that late game because like it's starting to reveal more of like all of this experimentation and creations and stuff. But I don't know. Again, I don't think it was bad. I don't think it was good. I think it was kind of mid again. Walker of Illusions. It's above White Lady. Honestly, I even put it below Corrupted. It can kind of tie Corrupted. It's up here. It's like high to mid B. The brain dudes in Bloodborne, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of similar designs, especially in the latter half of the game, with all this corruption and experimentation going on. I agree with Surplus. It didn't feel like a boss. It kind of just felt like this cool design they had, didn't really know how to fit it in, and just threw it at that spot in as a boss. It could have been an enemy that you run into a couple times. Didn't need to be a boss, but I don't know. Again, it wasn't bad. I would, if I got stuck there, I would drop it down. Because it's not cool enough to get stuck on. The fact that I beat it like the 3rd try or something, I don't remember how fast, made it like not a chore. It was just like, okay, cool, whatever. If we got stuck there for like an hour, it's not cool enough for that. And it would have to come down. So I can see how if somebody got stuck there, that boss is going to be in the C or the D. You know? For example, bro, if I got stuck at Champion Victor, he goes to an F. The only thing salvaging Champion Victor is the fact that it was easy. And it was over quick. Yeah, yo, that's Doug nailed it. Yeah, maybe put it off the beaten path, and it's one of those optional you found it kind of bosses. That's what it felt like. It just kind of felt plopped in. So I feel like that'd be cooler. Put it in some hidden, creepy lab room that you don't have to find. You know? Okay. We're nearing the end now. So now we get to the door guardian. This is the guy guarding, I think, he's guarding the door right before you get to Laxia boss, right? It's a gimmick boss where you gotta hit his weak leg. Look at where the X is. That's a good picture they took for this. It even shows the X. You gotta hit his leg. Very easy once you know that. You hit his leg a few times, he falls down, you go in for big damage, rinse, repeat. It's not that bad. It's not that great. I don't know. I didn't think it was that cool. I think it was a little bit of an afterthought, or at least not really well thought out or fleshed out very much. Yeah, Corrupted Parade's up here in like kind of mid B. It's above the NPCs, but it's really nothing fancy for me. I didn't care that much. Like, to me, the Swamp Monster was like the redone boss in the right way with the Scrapped Watchman at the end. Corrupted Parade Master's just like, okay, I already beat him, but now he's corrupted. Not my favorite. Well, Doug, thanks, bro. I think it helps because I'm talking the whole time we're playing, and like it's on an ongoing conversation, you know. And this game is real fresh in my mind. I knew like midway through playing this, we gotta do a tier list. If any game deserves a tier list, it's these bosses, man. They're great. So Door Guardian, you can go C, bro. You can go C, dude. Maybe down here with like Puppet of the Future. There's not many gimmick bosses, so it's not like there's too many or anything. It's okay they've got a gimmick boss in here. But it's just like a gimmick boss we've seen so many times. Hit the weak leg, and they fall. Like, how many times have games done that? Especially the Souls games. So I feel like this is an example of a boss they didn't go that extra mile to add to it. 90% Eliza P, they take from Souls things, but then add to it to kind of elevate it or change it. The Door Guardian's something that kind of just feels taken and not elevated. You just hit the leg, bro. You just hit the leg. That's it. So he's low. He's low. And then we get to Laxia the Complete. This is the boss that beat me more than any boss in the game, I think. I think if we were to go and crunch the numbers, it would be this boss. Pretty sure. I died to this over and over and over and over. All because of Phase 2. And I can't remember what the name was. Laxia the Incomplete? I don't know. This is a cool fight, though. Honest to God, it's another very memorable one. First phase, big-ass sword, lightning abilities. It's like the Nameless King. The counterpart for this, Nameless King. Nameless King's the counterpart. At least for the phase 1, for sure. Real slow, delayed moves. This game, dude, delayed moves on everybody. Real delayed on this one. Heavy hitting and slow. You can break the shield on the back, which does make the fight easier as you go on. Again, I always like that. But then phase 2 starts, where they strip off all the armor, and it's that like half-naked chick, and she flies up in the air, and she starts firing lightning bolts at you. Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt! Luckily, hopefully by now, you think, maybe I can do Way of Tomo from Sekiro and deflect the lightning back. Or Surplus just tells you. Because that's what I did. Way of Tomo. Lightning bolt, lightning bolt, lightning bolt. Sent him right back. You can deflect the lightning and it shoots it back. And that's a good method. You pretty much have to or you're going to die, I feel like. Okay? Really hard second phase. Does look like Sir Alone, you're right. Really hard second phase. Oh my god, bro. Really fast, no time to breathe, lightning all over the place, AoE all over the place, you can't heal, it's a death wish. It's crazy. I had to do it over and over and over and over and over. With that said, I love this fight. I think it's one of the cool ones. This is one of the more memorable fights in the game, probably because I had to do it a billion zillion times. Billion zillion times. It might be S. I'm going S. I don't give a shit. I'm going S! It's an S! I'm gonna put it below those, but it's an S. Sherpa, you love Resident Evil. Ever considered doing The Evil Within 1 and 2? No, I haven't, but we can talk about that. We're about to get into some spooky games. October. So, I don't know. Laxia, I feel confident with everything in the S tier right now. Good stuff, okay? Brings us to the Red Fox and Black Cat. I thought these were so underwhelming, dude. I just did. The one thing that Liza P did not elevate for me is these NPC fights, which is a bummer because the fights themselves, the characters themselves, the design has potential. Like, the Red Fox looks cool, and there's like a cool character here somewhere. You know what I mean? It just never hit that mark for me, though. It just didn't. Like, they tried everything. It's like you run into them a few times through the game. You interact with them. It's just like Souls fashion, you know? But, like, it just never hit this point. And then when you finally fight the Red Fox, I thought it was easy. We killed it one time. Didn't even have to fight it twice. Easy. She's dead. It's over. It's a he or she. I don't even remember. I think it's a girl. But either way, I just thought it was mid, dude. Not even like bad, but just not meeting the potential. It's mid B. I could even see you putting all of these NPCs in C. You could put all of these NPC fights in C and I wouldn't bat an eye. It's either B or C. There's a cool character here somewhere, but it just didn't get there for me. And it's the same thing for Black Cat. You know? They try to elevate it, and I'm sure maybe on another playthrough when we're putting together more of the little pieces, it might be cool, but like, you killed my so-and-so, now I want to kill you. And I don't know, it just never really got there. Same for Black Cat. Easy, one try, one death, their death, not mine, over, it's mid. It's mid, bro. I put it down here. I put it down there. The story is good. She and her brother were good with the story, but the fight, I don't know. Even that, it didn't pull me in as much. It wasn't enough. It was more just like surface level. Like, you killed these people I know or something. Whereas like the Souls games go a little bit further and like they're doing some weird thing in this world that we like find out about through some roundabout way. I don't know. Just didn't hit it for me. Just didn't hit it for me. Now we get to the final two, you guys. We've made it all the way. Are you ready? What's up, Euplexia? How you? I've never done Code Vein either. I've never done the Surge. Might need to add it to the list. So now check it out. If I had to pick Elden or Liza P, that's a very, very hard one. And I feel like people could take a clip of me saying... What's up, Yash? Yash Patel. People could take a clip of me saying this and just tar and feather me. But like, dude, I think I like... Overall, I'd have to go with Elden Ring because it's more massively popular and it brought so many people to the Souls community and it's more accessible. And I would probably have to go with like Elden Ring because it's made more of an impact and brought more attention to this style of game. But for my personal niche taste and masochist personality, it's Liza P over Elden Ring for me. It's like Sekiro, Bloodborne, Liza P. Not even kidding. And then we can talk about Elden Ring, Dark Souls, yada yada. That's where I'm at. I really like this game. And I think the people that like Souls games that don't like this game There's something vastly different between them and me because I don't understand the complaints. I had none of these complaints. I thought it was so cool. Okay, now okay, I'll give you one complaint. Here you go. So this could be the final boss depending on what you do. But Simon Manus, Arm of God. So you finally make your way here and you fight Simon Manus, who's Godric the Grafted, by the way. That's his soul's counterpart. He even says, "Witness!" And he's like all, transformed and stuff with arms. It's definitely Godric the Grafted. But it's not any less cool. And the cutscene that happens is so damn cool when the arm comes out of the side of his body and reaches up, and the other arm from the gods comes down and touches it, and it's like, it's dope, dude. Really cool spectacle. I loved it, to be honest. Loved it, to be honest. But they nerfed it too much. I can already tell. This is the only boss that I didn't beat before the nerf touched it. So I got to fight the nerfed version. I didn't get to fight the pre-patch. And I'm not going to be that gatekeepy guy that's like pre-patch versus not. But I'm just saying, I think they tweaked the knob too much. Because we beat this guy so easy. We beat him way easier than the final boss should be. You know what I mean? The potential final boss. It was a pushover. It was way too easy to the point where, like, I didn't feel him beforehand. Maybe he was too hard, but you went too far then. You got to dial it a little back. Dial it a little back. He was such a pushover that it made the whole thing less memorable to me. Like, I'm only going to remember the nameless puppet now. After a while of not playing, So, the things that elevate the fight, though, is the cutscene, the character, all the stuff that happens is cool. But for me, post-patch, this was not that much of a challenge. It was pretty easy. I can't even go A. I'm going to go high B. I'm sorry. Everything about the character and the fight, everything about the character and the cutscene and all that stuff was cool. The fight was just, no. Phase 1 was just kind of boring, big fat guy with skinny legs swinging a thing around. I didn't die to phase 1 one time, I don't think. Not once. Never killed me. That's what I mean. So I don't know if they should have left it to be punishing to the degree that it was. I don't know how bad it was. I can't ever speak on it now, unfortunately. But it does feel like they likely turned it too much the other way. Too easy. Yeah, the fight was low-key, but everything else was cool. If it didn't have the cool visuals and all that stuff that happened, I could go down to C for the fight itself, Last, but certainly not least, and I honestly mean it, I think this is a really kind of understated fight in the Soulsborne universe, you guys. The nameless puppet, Euplexia. Are you excited for what's coming next in terms of games? Nameless Puppet is absolutely dope. I think it's dope. I think it's up there in the conversation with the other legendary Souls bosses. I do. In terms of the fight itself, and also the challenge, the cinematic spectacle of it, how it all goes down, I think it's cool. So this is where Geppetto reveals himself to be a real son of a bitch. Reveals himself to be a real son of a bitch. And he's like, give me your heart. What was the deal, by the way? It's Geppetto was like trying to use your heart to bring his actual boy back? Like, that's what it was, right? So he's like, give me your heart. Give me your heart. And if you say yes, I think the game ends, right? I'm assuming the game ends there and you die. And then if you say no, you fight this guy, which why would you ever say no? This is one of the best boss fights in the game. I think this is up there, dude. It's not quite Melania level legendary. I don't even know if it's quite Lady Maria level legendary, but they've had years. Well, Millennia's had 1 year, but she's very legendary. But like, Lady Maria's had years to cook to build that legendary status. Give Nameless Puppet some time. I'm dead serious. Give Nameless Puppet some time to cook with people. He's going to be up there. Yeah, Geppetto talking in the background, Eugenie's voice coming in mid-fight. You're right. All these things are great. Geppetto stored Carlo's memories in Pinocchio's heart. Geppetto wanted it back. Right. To bring Carlo back, right. And then so phase 1, kind of slow, sporadic, but heavy hitting. His design kind of reminds me of the Orphan of Kos. He kind of reminds me of that. Other than he doesn't have a big placenta. And he's less jumping around, at least in phase 1. And then phase 2, he does... No, yeah, this guy's counterpart is Orphan of Kos. If I had to pick one, that's the Soul's counterpart. Is Bloodborne, Orphan of Kos. Because the phase 2, this guy goes absolutely frantic like that, and he's jumping around, it's super quick. But it's almost a mix of like Orphan and Melania style, because he's got the blade. I don't know, but... Very challenging fight. I love how you split his head. You split his wig, bro. And, like, stuff is coming out. It's epic. It's epic. Yeah, Laxia may be a better Melania. I don't know, maybe. Kind of more Nameless King with that first. I don't know. Either way. Nameless Puppet's good. Nameless Puppet is awesome, actually. Nameless Puppet goes S. But I think it goes above Laxia. I think it goes above this Brotherhood. And it stops there. I don't think it goes above Swamp Monster. And I don't think it goes above King of Puppets. I just love the Swamp Monster switch up with the carcass. I really do. There's a part of me that thinks you could even put Fallen Bishop up here. I don't know. I'm all over the place. I feel like this is a pretty decent spread, though. The only thing missing is this person did not include the second time you fight the Brotherhood. The Black Rabbit Brotherhood. Which we already talked about. It's cool that the blade remains broken if you broke it in this one, but it's not going to be an S tier because you've already seen it before. They do change it a little bit, but it's not so changed that I'm getting another S. So if it was on here, the second Brotherhood fight would probably be a B for me. It's just more forgettable because you've already done it. And this time you fight them all at once, but then the big guy, it's kind of like backwards. I don't know. It's okay. It would go mid B for me. It's a good fight. I liked it. It'd be mid B. It'd be above all of these NPC fights here. It'd be above Walker. It'd probably be above Corrupted. It'd probably be right here. It'd be in between Corrupted and Mad Clown is where I would put it. Okay? That seems like a pretty good spread. Oh! What's this? Dangerous Doug coming in with the 20, bro. The 20, bro. Can you believe that, bro? Sherpa to God has defeated Lies of Pinocchio. Thanks, Doug. That's a big one, man. Thank you. I hope you guys are ready for what's coming next. Thank you, bro. That's a big one. Doug just bought me dinner. Now listen. That does it for Liza P for now. I intend to work this game into our Souls Pantheon. So give it like a year or so. When we start playing the Souls games again, this is one of them. This will be one of them. So we'll do another playthrough for sure. This tier list might move around next time. Who knows? I'm very much anticipating their next game. What's this dev? NeoWiz? I think NeoWiz? NeoWiz, something like that? Shout out to them. Massive props on this game. You have knocked it out of the park and instantly made one of my favorite games. Like, way to go. I am so anticipating the Wizard of Oz game. If anybody that's watching this later doesn't know, after the credits of this game, they teased Wizard of Oz coming next. I don't know how they're going to tie it to this game. I kind of wish it was just another standalone, like how Souls does it, but do Wizard of Oz. But they're somehow going to connect it. Because the characters in this world talked about the characters in Dorothy's world. I am so here for it day one. Can't wait. What would you do if they made a Sekiro 2? Sekiro 2 would be the biggest game for me. If right now I learned that Sekiro 2 was coming out, I mean, I'd be booking like literally days off work. And I would be doing probably like full 7-day streams of that game for at least a couple days. That's how into it I would be. Yeah, Doug, look up on YouTube or even the end of my stream. Once we're done here, rewind this to where after I beat the boss. Because right after the credits, it shows the teaser of what's coming next. And it's going to be Wizard of Oz like this. Man, I'm there for it. I think it could be the 10. If I gave this a 9 out of 10, I think the Wizard of Oz one could be a 10. Because we get different diversity in the areas. Because that's even one of the things with Bloodborne. Like, I love Bloodborne. It's one of my all-time favorites. But you really got to be in the mood because it's all dark. Everything's dark. It's all nighttime. I know it switches a little bit, but not much. And that's like this game. It's just all dark. It's all one mood. Souls, the other Dark Souls, kind of get more diversity. You get your dark areas, you get your vistas, and your, daytime, and you get kind of more of a diverse landscape. And I think they could pull that off with Wizard of Oz. And I will be here for it. So, anyway, thanks for tuning in, Butterbread. We're about to dip. Thanks for tuning in to the Liza P Definitive All Bosses tier list, starring yours truly, Big Sherpa and chat. Big Sherpa and friends. Loved this game. Highly recommend it to any Souls fan. I do recommend it to anybody to at least try because it's on Game Pass if you got Game Pass, If you know you don't like Souls games, it is not for you. Absolutely not. But man, I loved everything about it. Ninja Gaiden's not next, but it's very soon. Ninja Gaiden is likely the game after the next game. And if you guys are wondering what the next game is, well, let's just go take a sneak peek right now. Okay? Everybody have a good night. I love you guys. Thanks for being there for me. Doug, massive shout out, homie. Massive shout out, Northwest Kings. Adios, everybody. Good night.
낯선 태양 어디 있는가 외쳐보아도 메아리 저 돌고 돌아와 잊혀진 기억 그리운 향기 애타게 찾아온 이름에 사라져 가시도 친 맘인 내 영혼 하지만 다시 기억해 바람에 저 노래를 영혼에 숨겨 감춰져 버린 마음에 한없이 잊고 잃어버
Les fleurs de s'il te plaît. Sors-moi de cette obscurité.